What's going on, Ben? It's Al, man. I normally tweet you a lot on.
Hey, Al, what's going on, man?
Twitter, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally get a chance to talk to you, man. It's a pleasure, sir.
Hey, pleasure's mine, man. Pleasure's mine, man. What's on your mind?
Oh, man, you broke it down. I've been telling people. You ever heard the book called Half? What is it called? I'm trying to think of what it was. It was called The Has Not Never Been Told. The Has Have Never Been Told.
Yeah,
and it talks about capitalism. See, a lot of people think it's racism, but it's more about classism. What America's trying to do is they're trying to find ways to drive down wages. That's why you got all these right-to-work states. Think about it. Kentucky was the last southern state to get the right-to-work state. They're trying to find their best way to drive down wages. Now, everybody wants to point the blame on Bill Clinton for NAFTA, but if you remember, Bush was the one who instituted it. Now, a lot of people don't realize when NAFTA came, that's the reason why a lot of these legal immigrants came to America, because their job became menial, and then they wasn't used to working in the factory, so they were mostly agriculture. So they started coming across the border. Just like you said, I'm gonna tell you another thing. I live here in Michigan. You have a lot of people who own, a lot of Arabs that own gas stations and stores, and they were getting work visas for their family members, so they wasn't really hiring people in the community. They were letting them work for a certain period of time and then send them back to the country and then bring them back again. The same thing what you're talking about right now. The sad part about it is that most people don't know, Ben, that it's all about economics. Dr. Clark Anderson talks about it in all of his books, but the sad part, we haven't woken up as a community.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the African American community. The reason why we're not beneficial because we haven't taken the lead in terms of educating our kids and working with our own policies. Plain and simple. We allow other people to dictate to us. So what's your take on that, Ben?
First of all, thanks for the call, man. Great call. I agree with you, right? I think what happens though, particularly in the black community, because I'm seeing this all the time, I see it's easy fodder to blame the immigrant, right? Because blaming the immigrant, you can probably get some results that you want, or at least you think you want, faster than you could using a class analysis, a class critique of what's going on, right? A critique of capitalism. I have seen people that I like that are generally friends of mine abandon class critiques in exchange for vilifying immigrants. When the reality of it is the immigrants aren't going to come here if the jobs aren't available for them. So we really need, if your real concern is about the lower wages and the suppression of wages, then why don't we address the corporations that are hiring the illegal immigrants and the undocumented workers? Nobody's going to do that. And it's because it becomes easy fodder. It becomes the low-hanging fruit because it stirs the passions of men to make you look over here and say, that person is our enemy. And that person is the reason that you're broke. Right. And this is exactly how Donald Trump won. Donald Trump won on this idea that the reason that you're broke is because of Mexicans, or the reason that you're broke is because of liberalism, or the reason that you're broke is because of whatever number of things, because Barack Obama, whatever they wanted to list. In reality of it, the reality of it is that the reason you're broke is because this system is structured to pay you as little as they possibly can, and to charge you as much as they possibly can. So you're stuck in the middle of a system that simultaneously wants to charge you more for rent than you can afford to pay, while paying you the cheapest salary that they want to pay. That's why you're broke. And if nobody's ever going to address the systemic problems of it, all they're going to do is have you running around, arguing with, oh, the Mexicans, that's our problem this year. The Muslims, that's our problem next year. The coloreds, that was our problem 50 years ago. It's the same story. It's the same story, using the otherification and the vilification of a certain segment to distract you from ever addressing the underlying issues, which is corporations only want to pay you the smallest amount that they could possibly get away with. During slavery, it was free. Cost of living. Cost to feed you some gruel. Right? Today, it's minimum wage. If you're white, and this has, and I think it's poetic that this problem is no longer just a problem of the lower classes. This problem is a problem of even the white collar jobs, right? So, when that's a change, this will change when someone starts outsourcing CEOs or insourcing CEOs. When you have someone come over on an H-1B visa in order to take a leadership, a managerial or a C-level position, then you probably will start seeing some changes. Until then, corporations have it made. They're able to vilify a certain segment and get away with paying that segment the lowest wage they possibly can.